Hey everyone, it's Dale here. Welcome to this Trade of the Week series. In this video I'd like to talk about two trades which are kind of linked together, and they are both on the Australian dollar US dollar. So let me show you. Before you, this is NinjaTrader 8 platform with my custom-made volume profile and VWAP indicators. And first I want to talk about a short trade which I took from here, from this red line. And the reasoning behind this short was a volume profile setup. Let me just zoom out a bit so you can see what this level was based on. And it was based on this heavy volume cluster which formed on the Australian dollar in this sharp rejection of higher prices. When you see something like this, a sharp rejection of higher prices, and inside that you see a significant heavy volume zone like this one, then it shows a place where sellers were active. Sellers were adding to their short positions, rejected the higher prices and pushed the price downward. So this is very, very important place where sellers started to jump in. And that's why I was trading from there. I was trading from the beginning of this heavy volume cluster, and I was waiting for the pullback. And when the price reached that place, the beginning of this heavy volume zone, went short from there. Now, so far, nothing too special. This is a setup which I've been trading many years, so it's kind of a standard thing for me. But the interesting thing about this was the take profit placement. So here was the short, and then I was looking for ideal place to take profit. Now what I usually do is I use volume profile like this, and I like to place my take profit before the price reaches a heavy volume zone. In this case, this was the heavy volume zone, and this was my take profit. I was simply afraid that the price would react to this heavy volume zone and turn, which, as you can see, it did. So went short from here, took the take profit in here at the beginning of the first barrier standing in a way. That's how I do it. That's how I place my take profit. Okay, it was not just the heavy volume zone here, it was also a fair value gap. See, there was a fair value gap in here, another fair value gap was in here. When the fair value gaps are next to each other like this, I consider them like one big fair value gap. In this case, it was beginning in here, exactly at this level. Also, as you can see, it aligns with the beginning of this heavy volume zone. So fair value gaps, volume profile, and also first deviation of VWAP in here told me that this could be a support, or in other words, a barrier, and the price might have problems going past it. So that's why I quit the trade here. So that was the first trade, that was the short. What I did next was I actually entered a long trade from this place. So immediately after I quit the short, I entered a long. Reason was, as I told you, heavy volume zone, fair value gaps, and first deviation of weekly VWAP, all pointing to this level, right? Because this was the beginning of the heavy volume zone, beginning of the fair value gap, and also the first deviation of the weekly VWAP. So everything pointed to this level. So it was not only good to quit the short, but also it was a strong support, and I wanted to trade this support. So immediately after taking the profit, I entered a long from this place. As you can see, the price reacted beautifully here, and the place where I quit my trade was in this heavy volume zone. The logic is still the same. You want to quit your trade before the price reaches a barrier. First barrier standing in the way, okay? The barrier in this case was this heavy volume zone, and I quit the trade at the beginning of that heavy volume zone, just to be sure. As you can see later, the price went a little bit higher and then reacted to that heavy volume zone. I wasn't trading this heavy volume zone. I wasn't so sure about this trade, so I did not take a short from there. Retrospectively, yeah, it would be another good reaction and another winner. But yeah, I didn't take it. I only took the short from here and then the long from here. But still, I'm proud about those trades since the market reacted very nicely to all those heavy volume clusters, and I think that I managed to get the maximum of the first trade, which I ended up in here, and almost the maximum of the second trade, which I ended in here. So yeah, I think that this was a rather interesting scenario because it was a combination of two trades. I think it also nicely demonstrates how I work with placing the take profit. The key lesson you might want to remember here is that you want to take your profit before the price reaches the first barrier standing in the way, the barrier being a heavy volume zone. Now, if you guys are interested in learning more about volume profile trading, then I recommend heading to my website. It is traderdale.com, and if you want to enroll in one of my trading courses, then you can do so in here. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you next time. Until then, happy trading.